Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Aussie Starcraft. We're bringing you another great 1v1 game. This time at the top of the left-hand corner is our red Protoss player. It is MouzMana. On the bottom right-hand corner is our blue Zerg. It is LiquidTLO. This game is taken from the most recent Kaspersky arena. So there's a best of 5 series between LiquidTLO and Mana. Mana currently being the king of the hill, having defeated the previous king for GG in a great set of Protoss vs Terran games. If you haven't seen those, duck back and check them out. They're all uploaded on the channel. There were some absolutely fantastic Protoss vs Terran games, so hope you guys are enjoying them. Also a big welcome to all the new subscribers that are joining you. I hope you enjoy your time here on the channel. I figured it's been a long day at work today, but what better way to unwind than with some StarCraft. Looks like LiquidTLO is going to be going for a spawning pool first. Fairly standard on this map. Often you will see hatch first, but particularly with the very aggressive playstyle that Mana's been employing, it's not surprising to see TLO electing to go for the spawning pool first. First game, particularly in this series, was quite aggressive from Mana, and LiquidTLO obviously not wanting to fall into that trap again. So interesting scout out from this worker here. I'm wondering if this is for a potential proxy or just waiting to block the eventual hatchery that TLO is going to throw down. Looks like Mana as of yet actually hasn't thrown anything down, though we do have a forge coming down, so we'll be looking at a forge fast expand from Mana, and it's something we haven't seen in a little while. The old gateway expand certainly become one of the staples in this matchup, or in most matchups actually, as our Protoss players have adapted in Heart of the Swarm to the presence of the mothership core. The Forge Fast Expand tends to have lost a lot of the advantages it had. Well, more so than the making up for advantages which were lost, it's more the fact that you have other units which are able to more than make up for the damage that one or two cannons might do. Mana going to be throwing down a cannon now to guard these two ramps, so we do have these Zerglings moving out quite quickly across the map, so no prisoners being taken by TLO this round. Obviously Mana trying to stop the expansion from going down, but TLO going to be up here with these 6 Zerglings getting very aggressive. Mana pulling all his probes to try and ensure that this cannon can in fact complete. These Zerglings are going to be doing a lot of indirect damage in mining time. Only 5 workers still mining for Mana. Cannon has now finished up, but these Zerglings are going to be a consistent threat here. No expansion able to go down now, and these Zerglings unable to drive them off. TLO is free to wreak any havoc he can, or at least deny this nexus for the time being. The gateway still 20-30 seconds away, and the Zealot ways away behind that, so TLO is going to delay this expansion by quite a good deal. So certainly a win there, being able to get these Zerglings in and deny that expansion, not to mention the mining time that was lost. So if we check out the units tab, we can see it is actually 21 workers to 20. So Mana's actually been chrono boosting these workers out in spite of the fact that he's very nearly capped out on workers on that main base, almost oversaturated there. But continuing to chrono boost those for the eventual nexus that he's looking to place down as natural. TLO going to be grabbing his 3rd base quite quickly, right around the 5-minute mark, and starting to grab his gas as well. So it looks like TLO's fairly standard opening. We're used to seeing 3 bases from him quite quickly. Likes to use the gasless Zerg opening, relying on things like his Queens and his Zerglings to defend against the harass. Nice pick off there from these Zerglings, allowing TLO to kill that worker and deny this expansion for another period of time. Not sure just when Mana's going to be able to get rid of these pesky little Zerglings, but these 6 Zerglings certainly more than making up for their 150 resource cost. Continuing to kite around this Zealot and make life very difficult. 2nd Zealot now on the way. Actually a Stargate coming up for Mana as well, so looks like we'll be seeing different tech option out of Mana. He tended to favour robotics against Terran, but it looks like Stargate seemed to be the order of the day for versing Zerg players. And it looks like if Mana's not careful, he may actually lose this 2nd Zealot. So TLO just being extremely irritating with these Zerglings. Great micro back and forth, continuing to deny, actually forcing Mana to expand to a location he's been unable to defend thus far. So this potential second base is also in quite dangerous territory. TLO almost managing to get the Zealot, but looks like these Zerglings will go down to the Zealot. A second Zealot coming across to reinforce here. Looks like these poor Zerglings will get cleaned up here, but will have done their duty and certainly stagnated the Protoss advance. TLO's got his speed on the way now. A couple of queens being produced there, 3 now in production. I imagine we'll see another queen or 2 following these up. The creep spread very necessary to join these few bases together, and looks like the Zerg War Machine certainly gearing up. Looks like Mana behind this is going to be producing some Phoenix. Going to use it to clean up these Overlords, so he should be able to get a couple of easy Overlord kills. There's 3 out on the map, and a Zergling actually randomly positioned down here to try and provide a little extra sight, any warp prisms or things that might be incoming. And you'll see that TLO has quite a nice range of sight between these Zerglings and the Overlords. We'll see most warp prisms or Phoenix as they move out. Phoenix of course going to give themselves away very quickly as this Phoenix moves out. Looks like it will only be the one Phoenix, now switching to Void Rays. And I imagine we may see a repeat of Mana going for the old Void Ray into Colossus switcheroo. Always nice to force the Hydralos and then be able to mop them up with some nice force fields and Colossi. But TLO seems completely unperturbed by the fact that the Protoss player is now on 3 base. We have Mana is now actually managed to wall himself in using the rocks, and he's actually got quite a quick 3 bases for Protoss, but unfortunately 2 of them aren't doing a whole lot of mining well until these probes manage to transfer down anyway. So looks like Mana, who was stagnant for a little while there, is finally getting underway. Chrono boosting 3 workers out at a time. The great danger for Mana at this point is TLO's been able to macro up just so unrelenting. He's actually at 60 workers now and has been in this position for some time. So considerable economic advantage. Got his evolution chambers going down. +1 armor is on the way as well. So it's quite possible that Mana, as spread thin as he is, could very well end up susceptible to a timing attack from TLO. So we'll see how TLO decides to execute it. We actually have speed overlords moving out, which is extremely uncommon. I haven't got any ventral sacks for the transportation upgrade yet, but I'd be surprised to see that. We have these overlords moving out. There's going to be a lot of creep spread on the map. TLO often uses these overlords for that purpose. The Queen has got that creep tumor here already, though unfortunately getting picked off by the Void Rays there. TLO would have liked to get that creep spread moving right outside his opponent's base. And it's actually enduring Locust, so we may see TLO go for the Swarm Host this game. Certainly not something we've seen in a long time. Zergling's going to continue to try and keep Mana in the base as best he can, but these Void Rays on the field already going to be doing a little bit of Zergling mop-up duty. Cannon there going to be deterring the Zerglings from any attempted run-by. But indeed we do have Mana going for the old switcheroo into the Colossi. We do only have those 2 Void Rays on the field. Looks like TLO isn't having a bar of it this time. No Ultralisk on the field. Just going to muscle his way up with the Queens. Indeed, you can see 6 Queens already moving out. This creep spread's going to go quite crazy. Overlord's making a creep highway all the way back to TLO's base, and this is quite neat. We haven't seen this play out of people for a long time. Early in Heart of the Swarm, the Swarm Host very popular. You'd see people using Nidus networks and other static defense pushes with the Swarm Host, but certainly gone sort of out of fashion lately. So TLO breaking out one from the old archives and going to be going to town on this expansion. So these Queens certainly going to keep the Swarm Host safe against the Void Rays. Only 2 of them on the field. First Colossi still not in production. The Robotics Bay just finishing up now, but these Swarm Hosts are going to easily be able to lay siege to these bases well in advance of any Colossi being on the field. And if TLO was so inclined, he could actually get substantial static defense up here to defend them as well. But for the time being, we have 10 swarm hosts on the field and 9 queens, 6 of which are up here doing all the support. We have creep going absolutely crazy behind us. TLO actually expanding very aggressively. Base number 5 at the 13-minute mark is absolutely is just triggered greed mode here. So 5 bases already in play. And the swarm host certainly laying siege to these cannons here on the high ground. So one cannon does look like it will go down as Mana tries to buy a little bit of time for these Colossus. First Colossus getting chrono boosted out now as Mana tries to desperately get some sort of defense in place, but unfortunately for Mana, the problem with relying on this static defense to hold off those early aggressions is he has very little in the way of units. Went for the 3 bases very quickly, and the Colossus super slow to the party. So we'll see if Mana can manage to clean this up. There's 1 Colossus in play, second one coming out now. Gonna need another. Certainly 1 or 2 more Colossus would make this a lot easier to clean up. But TLO just gonna continue spawning locusts for absolutely free, and that's the danger of course of the locusts. Whether they do damage or not, they're going to constantly put pressure on your opponent, and they're going to force fights in places where your opponent isn't prepared to engage. So swarm host are a great positional unit, and certainly great for baiting your opponent into attack. We see that TLO's added the Vipers on, so it's going to allow him to pick off these Colossi, which is certainly a nice addition. Gateway's going to go down here and open this ramp up to this swarm host oppression. Mutalisk now come in, that's going to allow... Oh, he's going to get a Colossi if it's not quick. 1 Colossi does go down. The Phoenix proving to be a little bit of a pest here. 3 Phoenix now on the field. Going to do a lot of damage to these Mutalisks, and they're forced to pull back from the cannon. Though we've now lost the cybernetics score, so Mana's going to struggle to produce any Stalkers to counter these Mutalisk. Going to be relying purely on these Phoenix, which isn't a poor choice, but Mutalisk with the Queens underneath are going to provide a bastion. Looks like the Robotics Bay is actually unpowered now, so there's going to be no more Colossi coming out. These 2 Colossi, well, the second Robotics Bay, we missed that one before, is going to be producing a Colossi, but 1 Colossi is pulled over, and Mana obviously not happy about this push from TLO. TLO able to bust straight through the front door and take that game. So nice old school style from TLO, breaking out the swarm host, showing us that they're not that they're not all ancient history. It's still actually very valuable, and particularly in a game like this where you're able to force your opponent away from their preferred build, and particularly when they go this greedy with an opening. 3 Nexi and very slow to tech up did allow TLO to put on a lot of pressure a lot earlier than he otherwise might have done. So great game from TLO. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll throw this up on the channel and have some more great games following up tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed, by all means please do. We'd love to see you in the future. And this is Aussie Starcraft. We'll catch you all in the next cast.